Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Coach Gonzalez, the Eagle Pass cross country team and staff, we'd like to welcome you this evening. And we're happy that you're here to join us to celebrate these student athletes' great cross country season. They worked very hard for several months, and now, yet again, we have had a wonderful season, and we're here to celebrate that. But before anything else, I'd like to bring up one of our fellow seniors, student athlete, Martin Lopez, for the invocation.
Can we all bow our heads and close our eyes? Dear Lord, I want to thank you for this day that you have given us, putting us out here together today as a family, as a team, this great team that we have built, that we have flourished with our coaches and our runners. I want to thank you for having us out here, and today we hope that we have a great night. Thank you for the season that you have given us, for always picking us up when we're down, for giving us all the success that we've had throughout the years, for giving us amazing coaches, amazing parents that are always there with us. I know that our success is because of them. I want to thank you for all the blessings that you pour out onto us. I know many times we may go through a rough time, but you're always there to pick us up. And before a race, we always pray to you, Lord, because you're the person that we look up to and the person that gives us all the strength that we need for our accomplishments. I pray that tonight we all enjoy ourselves, have a great time as a family, that we may look to each other and have a nostalgic feeling and remember all the great times we've had together. And also that you please bless the food that we are going to eat today, that it might help us and give us vitamins. And always, that's how we pray for our meals, that it might help us be the great runners that we're going to become. Thank you, Lord, for this time. And let's have a great night, guys. Amen.
Thank you, Martin. And now we'll go ahead and start with a serving of the food, and we'll be with you shortly. Enjoy. At this time, I'd like to take this opportunity to present someone very special to not only this group, but I think for all of us who are very fortunate to have him. This person that I'm talking about is the mastermind behind the dynasty that has been created here in Eagle Pass High School. Something very good has been happening for several years now. And as I look upon this room and I see all these kids, it's definitely not the same kids, not the same amount of kids that were here, even 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Little by little, we've seen Eagle Pass Cross Country program grow tremendously. It really has grown exponentially since I've been back here in Eagle Pass. And I think one of the main reasons for this growth is because we've had the benefit, the luxury of having a great leader. I think all of you know that, cross country and running, I hold very dear to my heart. And ever since this person was brought into this program, I knew something good was going to happen. But I just didn't know or didn't expect that good thing to be so great. Great in the way that the groups, the runners have formed, the bonding that has happened throughout the years. And that's not even getting to the part where they started running faster and faster. All these kids here, all these student athletes, I'm sure I speak for them when I say that this person has been a monumental inspiration in their lives. And I couldn't thank that person enough. For one thing, this person allowed all of us to experience triumphs, defeats, which weren't very many of these. But most of all, he allowed us to experience growth. Growth with our children, growing up from kids from junior high, where they're barely getting out of elementary, to what they are now, and what the junior high kids will in the future be, which are young men and women. That is one thing that I could never repay. And I think I do speak for all the parents here when I say that that is the greatest gift that this person, along with the staff, has given all of us parents here. And I hope and pray that for many, many more years to come, we have the benefit to have this person with us. His dedication to this program, his leadership, from where he began to where he is now, and how he has brought along all these young men and women to follow his steps, to follow his orders, to believe in the program, which is the most important thing. They believed something that at first they didn't even know what it was. And it takes a great leader for that to happen. It takes a great leader to present something to someone and have them follow it with trust, follow it blindly until it gives fruits. And the many trophies, the many plaques, the many triumphs that they've accomplished prove fact that what he believed in could come true. And we're grateful for that, because a lot of it came true. And our children are the benefactors of that. He himself ran for this very same program, for Eagle Pass Cross Country. He himself furthered his career, going on to college, competing at a high level at the University of Texas A&I in Kingsville. This person accomplished many things, many great things, doing what our children are doing now. And because of cross country, I believe, and I really don't want to speak for him, but I do believe that that was a great, great inspiration to him, and motivation to continue and to be the person, both professionally and personally, that he is. There are no other words to say, but in reality, we really do love this person. We love him with all our hearts, and I want to go ahead and present him in front of you guys tonight to say a couple of words. Coach Juan Gonzalez.
Thank you, Doc. It's been a journey, and got here 9 years ago. Like Doc Dollar said, we had 23 kids, 25 kids, boys and girls combined. And over the years, now we're up to 130, 140, from high school to junior high, from high school all the way to junior high, down to junior high. And I couldn't done it by myself. It takes a lot of people. And to take credit, 100% is very selfish, and said I could not have done it by myself. I have a great administration, at the high school, from Mr. Bowles, now retired, to Mr. Valle Moreno and his staff of assistant principals, to student body. It first started, it's like, what is cross country, and now it's built to something, a respectable sport that people know about and people want to learn about. And parents, without y'all waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning to drop them off, at the high school to go to a cross country meet in Laredo, without y'all, this wouldn't have happened. Booster Club, this is a very beautiful evening y'all put together tonight, and it's a very special celebration, for these athletes. Coach Graff, from the beginning, I first got here and there was no junior high program, and sat down and it's like, Coach, we need a junior high program to build a great high school program, and with his support, things happened and moved and it rolled, and now we have this monster, with us, and it's a good monster. It's a very successful program. My coaching staff, it was myself and Coach Rangel in the beginning. Coach Vielma was volunteering for many years. Again, with Coach Graff's help, and we got a junior high staff. It went to Coach Vielma, and then Coach Hugo Garcia, who's not with us here. Coach Vielma is not with us here as well. He's taking college courses to get a master's in administration, so I'm happy for him and his new wife. Then we added 2 more on our staff this year, Coach Brianna Barrera and Jacob Knapp, who did an awesome job this year. Our numbers at the junior high went from mid-20s to close to 50 runners this year, and it takes a lot of TLC, and that's what we have. And you want to surround yourself with coaches that have the same passion that you have, and the nurturing to build something and develop someone that was walking the halls and not given a chance or an opportunity, and join a program that has been very successful, because of the commitment and dedication of these young men and women or ladies, and it just believing in something. So along with Jacob Knapp and Brianna Barrera and Hugo Garcia, who are the junior high coaches, y'all did an awesome job this year and in the past. And now my beautiful wife isn't here today. She's sick, and the spouses from our coaching staff, they're very patient and understanding, what our job entails and how many hours we spend away from the house and weekends, and so I want to thank them as well. And I want to start by, talking about this year's season. Our season starts in June, and it's not mandatory. We have 60 to 70 kids out there in the summer. They give their summers away. They're waking up at 6:30 in the morning to make 7 o'clock practice. So it starts there, and we develop over the summer, and we start off going to Zapata and bringing home, championship plaques, and, fast forward all the way to district. I don't think we've ever had 2 district champions on the varsity level at the same or on the same year, and this was an accomplishment set by Hector Alvarez and Jezebel Rodriguez. So our boys went district. We went to that blue school down the road, and they came down here the year before, and won district here. So we, did the same favor over there. So we won district. Our girls placed third at district, qualified to regionals, and the first time since a while, and went to regionals. Boys got second next to New Braunfels Canyon, who had a pretty solid team this year, and our girls placed 10th, I believe, and we hobbled in, and we had a state qualifier in Jezebel Rodriguez. We hadn't had a girls state qualifier in about 30 years, since 1984. So that's a awesome accomplishment there. Went to state, placed 9th in the state in the boys' side, and Belle finished a little bit above the pack, above the middle of the pack, which was an awesome accomplishment with her. She was leading the race the first 100 meters, that's what I told her to do: get out and and try to survive, and she did her best. But that's our season in a nutshell. We've gone to state on the boys' side 5 straight years. Half a decade of excellence, and it's a lot of hard work from everyone. On the girls' side, we have, we're losing one varsity senior. Cristina Lozano, great leader this year, and she will be missed. And believe it or not, the girls are going to be, right now, preseason ranked higher than the boys. So that's something different than you. Good job. But for you seniors, I will miss you a lot. All these long trips we've had to camps, all these long bus trips we've had, to cross-country meets. These are special moments that I will never forget. Several of y'all were my co-pilots and had your special ways of keeping me awake, these long trips to Colorado. It's just things that I always remember, never forget. So thank you for all the memories. And it's a very emotional evening for me because I've seen these kiddos since they were in, 7th grade, and they've been in our program for 6 years already. And it's hard for me to say goodbye for this, this chapter in their lives, this cross-country season. We started a new chapter. A couple months ago with track season, and it's gonna be a special year in the spring. For you underclassmen, junior high kiddos, all the way to juniors at the high school. One thing I always tell my runners: hard work will beat talent every single time when talent ain't working. You put in the miles, you put in the time, you put in the effort, and you will become special. On the course, on the track, in the classroom, in life. You work hard and never be afraid to fail. never be afraid to fail. And that's my message to you. Always try your hardest and move forward. We want to have our seniors to come up here, all the seniors, to say a little something, to reflect on, your high school careers, special thanks, encouragement for the underclassmen. So if we could have our seniors up here, to say something, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you for all having us here. I gotta say one thing about my season, but I did pretty good. I went through a weight loss. Yeah, I got really skinny at some point, but yeah, I was surprised. My family was too. I think for them supporting me, except my sister. No, just kidding, I wasn't. Just kidding. Anyways, but yeah, I think for them waking up early, just taking me to practice, wasting their mornings, except my dad since he has to go to work that time. But yeah, I think for giving it right by me stripes whenever I need tackle. But yeah, I think for that, what else I have to say? And now, I'll also say about, let's see, but overall it was a good season though. I had some up and downs, but I didn't really meet my goal, but I'll come back for Southwest and try and meet it again, but that's about it. And also, I guess to say something memorable, was when Coach G invited me in the cross. It was my sophomore year and during track season. Saw me busting my butt, and then he just got to the point and just says, "You want to join cross?" And I just said, "All right, give it a shot." And then, let's see. What was this? Okay, I got some advice for y'all underclassmen. Wherever y'all go, if y'all have hopes, dreams, goals, I guarantee you work hard, you will make them. You will make them. You just gotta be willing to sacrifice wherever you want to. It's just how bad you want it. I guarantee you'll get what you want as long as you're willing to work hard for it. I guarantee you that. And also want to see some gratitude to Coach G, which is what have to be taking me into cross, treating me like one of his own. Same goes for all my other teammates, treating me like one of the family. Yeah, just treating me in, taking me in. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for attending tonight. It really means a lot to us, to the whole program. And, well, first off, I'd like to start off by thanking the parents. They were so great to us. Sometimes we take them for granted, but in reality, I don't think I'd wake up at 6 in the morning if I didn't have to run. So, thank you, parents. I guess what can I say? The program, it's changed my life for the better. Nothing negative at all. When I showed up, I knew I was gonna run cross from the day I was born, I guess. My dad. But, I remember showing up for the first morning practice, my 7th grade year. I remember thinking, dang, this isn't like any other sport. Running was, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like running a 6-mile run. It's not fun. But I guess what brought me to it was the dedication, the hard work that you had to put in to get what you wanted out of it. I think I speak for everyone here that one thing we do all share is that desire to make a name for yourself. And this program gives you just, the utilities to do that. I remember, with this program, we've had so many, inspirational stories and so many people who inspired us. It's like, for example, Martin, first, I didn't want to come into cross alone, so I brought, my best friend Martin over here, right? So I bring him, I wake him up at 6 in the morning, show up for the first practice, and this guy, he couldn't run a lap. We always pick on him. He would make the C teams for basketball. Captain, yes, of course, captain. He's a little better now, but Yeah, and you know, he was the last one on the team. You know, that whole year he was last. You know, by the second practice he didn't want to show up anymore, but I woke him up again. You know, and now he's up there. You know, first, second, we're up there as the varsity spot. You know, who would have thought would have been making state as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors? But none of that came easy. You know, it all so much. You know, that dedication we wanted to make a name for ourselves, and I mean, of course, we couldn't have done any of this without, you know, our leader, Coach Gonzalez. He's always been there for us, you know, been our second dad, our second mom, you know, our second brother, our second friend. You know, he's always been there for us for anything that we ever needed. You know, he taught us not only to believe in the program, but more importantly, to believe in ourselves and to know that anything you want in life, it's all at your grasp. You know, it's all at your taking. Whatever you want in life, you can take it, but there is a price to pay. And that goes for, I mean, the underclassmen. That is my advice to you: is anything you want in life, it's never too big, never too much. If you want it bad enough, you're willing to sacrifice anything, you will obtain it one day. And as for this past season, I had never dedicated myself so much to anything in my life than I did this summer. I mean, this summer I dedicated everything I had, and even then, I saw room for improvement. I saw things I could have done better, things I could have improved, you know, but I guarantee the rewards are endless, and they are definitely worthwhile. You know, we're here at our last banquet, and it's kind of surreal, you know, to think that, you know, we're not gonna come back to this, you know. At least us seniors, we're always coming back home, but to be a part of a program like this, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So if, you know, another advice for you underclassmen is, you know, take advantage of this. You know, you're not going to get this just anywhere. You're not going to get a coach who cares absolutely, you know, 100% for you. He truly cares about you, and he'll lay down his life for you guys. And he's laid down a lot of countless hours, a lot of countless days to help you guys get better. That's why in the mornings he's always, you know, he's griping about like all these, you know, don't, you know, if you guys don't want to be here, don't be here. And he doesn't mean that in a bad way. He really means it as in like, if you guys don't want to, you know, be great, you guys really, I mean, you don't have to be there. You know, it's just, he wants you guys to reach the fullest of your potential, and he wants you to want it more than he does. And that's the only way any of this can be obtained. So, I mean, so many times, you know, we got annoyed of each other, you know. It's just like, because he wanted it more at one point, you know, and then us stubborn kids, we don't listen. But, you know, now I'm standing up here talking in front of you guys as a senior, ready to graduate, and I tell you, I mean, everything he says is, you know, it's the Bible, you know. You listen to him, all right, and stick to his word, and I promise you, you guys will be people. You guys will be somebody in life. All right, you guys are gonna make a name for yourself. I mean, so many people have already made a name for themselves. I mean, Rob, he's been the most inspiring person I've ever met, you know. And it's just that, you know, so many times this is such a heartbreaking sport, and I ask myself, why do I run? You know, it's a little joke between us that we always ask ourselves, why do we run? Why do we run? Why do we run? It's hot in the summers, and then I mean, you can go all season winning every race, but if you don't show up district, I mean, you're going home. With just that one bad race, you're going home. And I ask myself, why do we join this heartbreaking sport? And it's because we wanna make a name for ourselves. We wanna better ourselves. We pick ourselves up. I mean, I've never seen anyone work harder than what Big Rob here has done. You know, I don't know. I can't imagine how hard it must be, you know, just to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. But it all will have its rewards soon enough. So, thank you guys, and thank you, Coach, for everything. And to all the people who have supported us, gone to every meet, you know, in any which way, or, you know, the staff, administration, thank you guys for supporting the cause. Thank you guys.
I mean, it's pretty crazy standing up here and actually realizing that it's my last year in cross country. In 4 months, I'm gone. God willing, to Austin, but I mean, I was thinking about what we've been doing and the entire year, and for the sake of my memory, I wrote something down. We're closing off the year for us seniors. I've gone through 6 cross-country seasons, which is a lot, 6 years, and almost done with 6 track seasons with the same guys, which are these guys right here. From winning regionals my sophomore year to being 1 place away from area my junior year, or sophomore year. 1 place away from area in 800. In track, this sport has given me the highs and lows of life. However, this sport isn't only rewarding with medals and championships. We make a family that was brought up by these coaches, Coach G, Rangel, Bielma, Hugo. A family like just any other. We fight, cry, laugh, and even bleed together. And although all this may escalate sometimes, we always find ourselves back to one another. I still can't believe that I'm in one of the best teams in Texas. I mean, it's pretty crazy. If you look around, all of you guys have contributed to making this one of the best programs in Texas. One of the top 12, most elite programs in a huge state. I remember at 7th or 8th grade, us 4, and Juicer, and Lino, we went to Uvalde, Texas to race. It was a 2-mile meet. And we beat Dario, and that's the first meet in a long time that we had beaten Dario. And Coach G, and after we took a picture, it's on Facebook, I'm not sure you've seen it, but we took a picture. Coach G and Coach Vietnam sat with us, and they're like, "Oh, like you guys are gonna have the potential to be something great." And between us 4, and Juice, but he left. But between us 4, we made it a promise to each other, not to let each other down. And although I had doubts about running and how it goes in track and stuff like that, I mean in soccer, we stayed with it, and I still can't believe that these past 4 years we made it a state. Okay. Obviously, though, we had some of the best coaches in the city of El Paso, District 29, Region 4, and Texas. Without these guys, none of us would have been able to push, despite us being tired and growing weary of the long season. Although we fell short of the podium, I could vouch for all of us and say that we didn't give up on one another. Coaches, thank you for the best 6 years of my life. Thank you for giving me my brothers of my own, and thank you for maximizing my potential. Keep up everything you've been doing, and thank you for making EPHS a high-caliber team. And for the 7th graders all the way to juniors, I mean, just keep on trying. My freshman year, I wasn't even varsity. I fell short. I was pretty down about it, but I mean, freshman year going to sophomore year, I pushed, and sophomore year I came as the closing door regionals, and that's where we won the championship. Get me? So, just because you're not in varsity, you're freshman, a sophomore, or maybe even junior year, keep on going for that goal. Your senior year. I mean, it all stands up to you. So, just keep on working.
Thank you guys for joining us here today. I know this is gonna be like my last words to the whole team. I mean, maybe not Enver, but you know, it's tough to stand up here as a senior. I never saw myself as a senior, actually. First, before we begin, you know, this guy, I wanna bring him up so you guys can give him a hand real quick. This guy is my brother since like the 5th grade. You know, we've gone through a lot of stuff. I have 2 brothers of my own. I love them to death, but God has given me another one, and He also gave me a family that has taken me as one of their own. And I want you guys to give a hand to Hector Alvarez, because he has just verbally committed to the University of Incarnate Word to run there for his next 4 years. So everybody. that's a great accomplishment, and that's honestly one of the best things that me and Hector and the guys we have dreamed of, of becoming a dream. And I say this because when I was a 5th grader, I met him, and I never thought that he was gonna bring me into the sport. I love basketball. Basketball is my life. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna play for the Spurs when I grow up. I mean, that's obviously changed. I'm no longer gonna be a Spur. But I went for basketball and stuff. I never made the A team. Or the B team, but I made the C team. I made the C team, but I was the captain of the C team, and I held myself very dear to that position. And when we were gonna become 7th graders, Hector, I remember one day he told me, and his mom told my mom, hey, you know what? You should do cross country. I remember Hector's mom saying these words, it's a beautiful sport. And it is a beautiful sport. And my mom was like, yeah, you should do it, I don't know what. So Hector's dad and his dad picked me up to go to practice. And I get there, I meet Coach G, and I remember the first thing he called me Kmart. I don't know why. I'm glad that nickname didn't stick. But, I remember, and Coach G goes, we're going to go for a 3-mile run. I'm like, dang, 3 miles. All right, let's do it. So, it's at the lake, and we go. We hadn't even gotten out of the lake. We barely had done even half a mile, and I'm already huffing and puffing, and I'm tired and stuff. And it was me, Hector, and Victor, right? And then Victor's like, come on, Martin, let's go. You're holding up, I don't know what, and he's getting all mad. And I go, whoa, So, I ended up finishing the 3 miles, and I told Hector, you know what, this isn't for me. This is not my thing. I'm sorry, I can't run. I don't know why people do this for fun. So I went up to Coach G, and I told him, you know what, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm gonna go pursue my dream of being a basketball player, And he told me, you know what, maybe you can do it to get in shape for basketball. And I was like, you know what, yeah, sure, I'll do it to get in shape for basketball. So that was my thing, I'm gonna do it to get in shape for basketball. So we finished cross country season. I was the second guy to the last, I was like, you know what, it was a pretty cool season, I liked it. And here came basketball season, And then basketball season, again, I had my dreams broken, and I kind of realized, basketball isn't mine. I think I played 20 seconds that season, and that's because my parents showed up to the game in Laredo, so the coach was like, you know what, go ahead and play, man. Your parents came all the way over here to watch you play, so you know what, for me, those are the best 20 seconds of my life. But, we started that program, and I remember we were at the registration, and that's where we added the 4th piece. And Coach G had seen this guy, and he told Victor, hey, go tell your friend to run cross country, and that was Javier. And Javier was a soccer player, and I knew Javier because I used to play soccer too. And we kind of got Javier on board, and we were like, you know what, we got a pretty good team right here. We look like athletes and stuff, we can do this. We're skinny guys and stuff. We can run fast. So, we started the season, and we started, putting our hard work done, and we started kicking butt. Came 8th grade year, I think that was the best year we've ever had. We won 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 in a meet, which was amazing for us. And we thought, that's great. And we knew at that moment that was going to be a goal of ours to further our running and to keep on achieving what we have achieved. And we looked at each other and we said, you know what, we're going to become the Eagle Pass, the best Eagle Pass has ever had, And right now, I don't know if we've actually achieved that goal, but I think we're still striving for it. And when we told each other that in junior high, it started a whole another world for us. We were blessed with amazing coaches that have been there throughout the whole time, and they never let us down. They've always there for us. They tell us, come on, let's do this. I think. I have my parents of my own, and I'm very blessed to have them, and I love them, and I love the sacrifice they've made for me. But Coach G has been another dad for me, And like my own dad, I argue a lot with my dad, and I argue with this guy a lot. We've gotten into some heated scuffles and stuff. But I remember he told me once, and we were having an argument, and he told me, you know what? I do this because I care for you, and because I love you. You're like one of my own. And I'm going to treat you like one of my own, and I'm going to do what's right for you. At that moment, I realized that everything that he's doing is for the best of us, He's not there to hurt us. He's not there to put us down, or even though when, you have a bad race. I know every time I hated the mile, and I would have to run the mile, and I run, You know, I don't think I ran a bad mile on purpose, but I would not have a very good race. And we finished the race, and Coach G would give me like a little tap, and he goes, "Man, what the heck are you doing out there?" You know, and he's getting mad at me, and I'm over here like, "Why are you getting mad at me and stuff?" You know, like I just finished the race, I had a bad race, like. But you know, those words always stuck to me because I always try to get some kind of emotion out of him. I remember after maybe a lot of good races that I had, this guy, all he gives me is just boom, handshake, you know, like that's it, like good job, man. And I'm like, you know what, like I don't even get a hug and stuff, like what is this, man, like give me more. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get more out of him, and I'm gonna get more out of him. And I was pushing myself, and that was the motivation that I had, you know, I'm gonna get more out of him. And you know, like at one point, he gave me a lot of emotion. He would hug me tight and stuff. You know, the races, it was just a handshake, but I would see his love and him showing his emotions every day when he's out there in the summer. This guy doesn't even get paid to be sometimes out there in the summer, and he's there every day, you know, and that means a lot because you see him a lot, and he becomes, like he says, our safety blanket. He's my safety blanket. I know when he became the head coach for the girls, I was like, whoa, like we're not gonna be able to go with you on trips, man, like on track. And I was like, you know, like I wanna go with you, like come on, man, like let's pull some strings so we can go with you, you know. And it wasn't because we were going on the girls' bus. That had nothing to do with it, right? At all. But it's because we wanted to be with Coach G. And I guess, you know, to reflect in my season, in my 4 years or my 6 years that I've had, you know, they've been great. They've been amazing. I always look to these guys and I tell them, guys, like, think of it, like, we're always thinking of crazy theories and stuff. Like, think of it like, how blessed are we, or how lucky did we get to be put in Eagle Pass? Like, I don't think I would like to be running cross country for Dorio at all, like, you know? Like, with any other coach, I think, like, I always tell them, like, how lucky did we get to have this coach, you know? Like, it doesn't get better than this. And my freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year were great accomplishments that I got to qualify 4 times to state, which is something I dreamed of doing my senior year, and I got to do it 4 times, and I was blessed to do that. I know I had a lot of ups and downs, but you know, I got through them. You know, sometimes when you have a bad race, right there and then you think it's the end of the world, but it's not at all. You know, there's always the next race, there's always the next chapter. Even now, I like to think I had the worst cross country season of my life. And even then, I look forward, and Coach G has helped me look forward. Like, you know what? There's another chapter to this. Track's another chapter. College is another chapter. After college, everything has another end to it. It's never the end of the world. You know, so don't ever just put yourself down because it's a bad race, you know? This is a memorable, funny story, you know? I guess I've already said a couple of stories. And maybe I'd like to talk to you guys about, like, motivation and stuff, you know? There's a lot of things out there that can motivate you, and I think the main one should be the people around you. You know, the people here look around you and see your parents and your family and your teammates, you know. Success, and, like, you know, all the success that I have, I like to thank it to everybody that's around me. You know, you can't do anything by yourself. These people are around you for a reason, and they're gonna support you all throughout. So whenever you get a chance, you know, you tell them thank you for being there for me, because they're the support that keeps you going. You know, you're having a bad time, maybe your mom makes you some nice, good dinner, and you're like, damn, this is good, you know, like, I like this, and, you know, your teammates are there to help you up and cheer you up because they're never gonna let you get down. You know, so always look around and use that as motivation, that you don't wanna let the people that you have around you down, because we're going out there into a battlefield. You know, it's like we're soldiers. We're going out there to battle. And you don't just want to give up on yourself. You know, it's fine to give up on yourself. I think a lot of times I've given up on myself. And, you know, I can forgive myself anytime. You know, but giving up on these people, giving up on them, that, you know, you don't want to let them down. Because sometimes, even though you don't think of it, you guys maybe not think of it. You guys, you know, I look up to all of you guys. Every time I see you guys out there running, I say, if they can do it, why can't I? When I see you guys busting your butts on those workouts, if they can do it, why can't I? And sometimes I try to be that example. And many times, you guys are that example. So always look around for motivation. And then a funny story for motivation. I remember we were going to a meet. I think this is one of my best memories this senior year. We were leaving to a meet, and we're going up for the bus, and there's there's this girl. She's a beautiful girl, you know. She has everything. Perfect girl, man. You know, like I look at this girl, it's like you get yourself in a trance. It's like, wow, dude, like, you know. And we were leaving for a track meeting, and I like to think she was coming to say good luck to me, right? I saw her, I was like, wow, she came to say good luck to me before I left in my race. I was like, dang, that's cool, man. I'm climbing the ladder to getting her, right? Yeah. So then I see her, her name's Paulina, and I see her, hey, Paulina, like, what's up? Like, you came to say good luck, I don't know what. And she goes, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and I told her before we leave, like, hey, can I get a good luck kiss, you know, like on the cheek or something, you know? And then she goes, no, you can't. I'm like, oh, man, like, I go, okay, what if we make a bet, you know, like, and if we were going to Nike South, which is just a big meet, you know, a lot of elite runners, you know, and my goal was to get top 10. And I was like, what if I get top 10? You know, would I get a kiss on the cheek? She goes, you know what? Yeah. And then I told her in Spanish, because I sometimes talk to Spanish with her. I go, pero aguanta con, with red lipstick y bien tronado aquí. And then she goes, sí, super tronado. And I'm like, yes, man. So whatever, when I get on the bus and everybody was looking, Coach G and them, and they're like, hey man, what's up? That's so cool. I don't know what. And I was telling the story, they were all pumped for me, you know, because this is a girl I've been like drooling over since freshman year, and you know, that was cool. So we get to the race and stuff, and you know, at the race, at the line, I'm not thinking of it or anything, you know, and we start off and we go for the gun, right? We're going, and it's a fast race, and at the beginning of the race, I saw an opening, I took it, and I was up there in the pack. I was maybe, I guess, 14th, 15th, and I'm going good pace and everything. I'm running pretty hard, trying to stick with the elite guys, and then I guess we're about maybe a mile to go, right? And I see Ariane and Richard recording, right? And I hear Ariane say like, Martin, go get that kiss, go. And at that moment, I was like, man, like this is my shot. I got this, man. Like I'm going. So I started moving up, and before you know it, the 800's left, and I'm battling with this guy for 10th place, and I'm like, man, I gotta get this kiss. So I'm kicking, right, and boom, whatever. I ended up having a good race. I finished 9th, and it was an amazing race. I like to think that's one of my best races. And I was like, dang, I got 9th, you know? And, you know, I thought that was a huge accomplishment. And everybody seemed to, like, be really pumped, but not because I ran really good, but because I got the kiss. Everybody was like, Ariane was like, you got the kiss, yes! I don't know why. And I was like, cool, man. And I sent her a picture of the results, and she was like, wow, like, I guess, like, I'll give you the kiss or whatever. And I was really pumped, you know, it was awesome. And then the next day at school, she got all mad at me, and I'm like, why? She got mad, and Christina has her for a class, and Christina showed her the predicted results, right? which were wrong, and it says I was predicted to get 10th, and Paulina was like, you knew you were gonna get 10th? I don't know what, you cheated, I don't know what. And I go, no, that's not how it works. Like, you know, they're just predictions. Like, it's not always gonna be like that. And you know, to this day, I still haven't gotten that kiss. But I hold that as motivation. And you know, right now we're all laughing and we're having a good time and stuff. But guys, you know, as a serious note, motivation does come from a lot of places. And you know, one of my biggest motivation is God. I like to thank God for everything that I do. I like to be very involved in the church. And that has been, I think, the #1 reason that I am so successful, because if you have faith, you can move a mountain. Never have a single doubt in your mind. You know, we always think like, yeah, you're positive and stuff, but are you 100% positive? You know, this says like even a mustard seed can move a whole mountain. A mustard seed is tiny, you know? So whenever you have, you know, a goal, never have that little doubt in you. That doubt this small can ruin everything. Everything is possible through faith. Just have that faith, and you know, think you're gonna surprise yourself. You surprise yourself, surprise the people around you, but always remember, even before, you know how we always, you know, before a big test or a big race, we pray to God. You know, after you finish and you do good or you do bad, go and pray to God again. You know, never leave him out. He's always there listening to you. He's always there carrying you, even when you don't know it. I think a big thing that I always preach and I always say when I talk is that everything happens for a reason. There's a reason I'm standing here today. There's a reason that I met Hector. There's a reason I met Javi, Victor, these people around me, Robert, Christina, everybody. There's a reason I met them. You know, these people have become my family. I was blessed to grow up with these people. I grew up with them. These guys became my best friends. And I couldn't have picked better people to grow up with. You know, I saw them go through everything. They saw me go through everything. You know, high school is the most important, I think, most important of a teenager's life. And I got to go through it with them. And that helped me a lot. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. If you're having a bad race, you're having a bad time, anything that's going on in your life, just remember that God's doing that for a reason. He has a plan. And it's much greater than anything that we can imagine. You know? So, when you see yourself around everything you have, think, you know, there's a reason why I'm here. If you're going through darkness, there's a reason that you're going through darkness, because soon comes the light. That light's going to be very bright, guys. And it's going to be awesome. And, you know, advice for the underclassmen and for the junior high kids. You know, if you're doing this now in cross country, you're doing another sport, don't ever just think that, you know, you're not a good athlete or you're not meant for this or whatever, you know. Everybody's meant for this. You just got to work hard. You got to work hard, I think. You know, everybody here is a testament of working hard brings success. And I got to tell you guys, don't ever give up. Don't miss your Sunday long runs. Don't miss your runs. Don't be playing around your runs. Take your training seriously. It's a serious training. Yeah, have your fun. Have fun in this, because you're going to miss this at one point. Like I'm missing it now. I miss it. I'm going to miss those summer practices. I'm going to miss seeing Coach G, and he's going to be like, what's up, dude? You know, like I'm going to miss all of that. You know, so once you have it right now, grasp it and don't let it go. Hold on tight to it. All right? And never give up on your dreams. We have dreams to go get them. And the bigger your dream, the more successful you're going to be. All right? Don't let yourself down. Don't let the people around you. And guys, thank you for an amazing 6 years. Coach, everybody here, my parents, I love you guys. You know, you guys hold a very, very dear place in my heart. And wherever I go next, always remember that I'm going to remember you guys. And my success comes because of you guys. Thank you guys, and enjoy the night.
That's gonna be pretty tough to follow up, but I mean, he's one of the best talkers I know, and I'm blessed to have him as a teammate. I'd like to first of all start off by thanking everyone for being here with us to celebrate the special evening. You know, all three of my teammates said over here, and Robert, y'all are the reason we're here. You guys are the reason for our success. Everyone in this room, from parents to athletes to our film crew over there, shout out to them, Richard and Ariane. You know, everyone has contributed, and you know, I always hear a lot of people praising, you know, the varsity cross-country team. And sometimes I feel like they belittle everyone else. And, you know, I always try to say it's because of them. Because I run for them. We run for them. The varsity team represents the community, not just the program. You know, and we all take a lot of pride in saying that, you know, Eagle Pass is a great city, and it's nurtured us for, I mean, most of our lives. And so, I mean, another thing, I came into this program thinking, you know, it's gonna get me in shape for soccer, and Coach G would always tease me about it, and he'd call me, you know, you play soccer and you're such a sucker, man. Like, you play soccer, man. And you know, it started off as a joke, and I started taking it running a little bit more serious. So he stopped, you know, calling me that, and I mean, I went through a lot of miles with these guys in 7th and 8th grade, and a lot of success came from that. And when I came into freshman year, I made a decision. You know, and I don't regret it. I went into the soccer program at Eagle Pass High School, and it was a good year. And I came back into track, and I had the big dog syndrome. I mean, I came in junior high, I was winning all the races in the 800. I came into track and I was like, dude, I got this, I'm gonna win this. And I ended up running JV. And, district came, I ran district in the 800 and the 400 too. And I ended up getting my butt kicked. And I remember I finished, and Coach G, he was at the finish line, and he told me that's what happens when you play soccer. You gotta weigh your opportunity costs, and I mean, and I mean that really stuck to me, and it was a motivation for me, it was a wake-up call. And like my teammates here said, I had made a promise to them and to Coach G, 8th grade year, when he told us that we would, he told us he was gonna take us to Oregon. He told us we were gonna go to Nike Nationals. And it's something that, as 8th graders, we didn't think of it much. We were like, oh yeah, whatever. He's just, something to keep us interested in cross. But I mean, as the years passed by, it became more real. And this year, summer came and we began to, I think it was the best summer for all four of us, focus. We were very focused and we kept our composure. I think that's one of the keys to our success is composure. My friend Carlos Elizondo, he said this once, and he said, composure is the reason that the Eagle Pass cross country team is as successful as it is. And it's composure and commitment. We go out there at 6 in the morning in the summer, and I mean, we start practice at like 6:30, 7, and even at that time it's like 100 degrees, and we don't want to run. And I remember one time we're getting ready to go out for a run, and we're like, dude, screw this, let's just go home and not run. And we took off and we're going real slow, and we went into the trails, and Hector over here, we were stopping for a lot, and Coach G usually gets after us for doing this, stopping during our runs. And so Hector stops, and we're like, dude, what are you doing? We're gonna be late. Coach G is already pissed off as it is. I mean, we're gonna be really late. And so he stops, and all of a sudden he bends down, he reaches down, and he gets a stick. A stick, and he picks it up, and we're like, oh my God, it was a perfect stick. It looked like a club. And I mean, this guy, he's very tosco, aggressive. And he'd just be swinging that thing all over the place on a run. And we got to, there's this dip in our trails, and there's branches all over the place. And they're covering through where we go through, and he just starts breaking them and stuff. And we're there, we're really scared. I mean, this guy's really aggressive. And, so we head back, and we stop again, and we stop, and it's one of the gates, and I go look for a stick, I wanted to challenge him, to a duel. And so I go look for a stick, and I find this, it's like an almost petrified stick. It's nearly a rock. And it was the worst stick that you would ever see. It was bad. And so I go up to him, and I'm like, I challenge you to a duel. And so he's like, all right, let's do this. So we both swing at the same time, and both sticks just shatter, and we're like, no, dude, we just ruined the perfect stick. That stick it's completely done. Highlight of our summer.
That was the highlight of our summer. And you know what I want to share. The reason I want to share this story with everyone here is, you know, we always talk about being serious, and you know, there's a time for business and a time for having fun. And you know that having that balance is very important because, I mean, like everyone said, running it's boring. You're just doing the same thing over and over again for 6 miles, 40 minutes, sometimes up to 10, way more than that. And you know, it gets boring, and I guess that's one of my advices to the underclassmen. You know, have fun during your runs. And even though this guy right here is gonna chew you out because you're late, you know, it's gonna be worth it. Sometimes it's worth it. But yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason I think that our program has been so successful too. I mean, we relax and we just have fun running. You know, we've fallen in love with the sport, and you know, it's that love for the sport and for our teammates that pushes us through that pain during the race. You know, we always tell each other, you know, we don't run for me. We don't run for just to get first, or you know, we run for the team, and we run for the whole team, not just the varsity team. You know, like I said, we represent everyone here, and you know, I just like to also say that another reason why we've become so successful is, I think, our relationship with God, and that all started with Carlos Elizondo. You know, I mean, that guy it's amazing, and he took us under his wing, and you know, Martin had you know, he was very close to Martin and to all of us. And, you know, he was the one that encouraged us to attend church before every single meet, and we've done it ever since then. And we always praise God, you know, for our successes, for our losses. And at the end of the day, you know, we tell each other we can do all things through him. And that's the bottom line. I mean, God has played a big role in my life, and I thank him for putting me in this program. And I thank him for giving me these 3 brothers. I'm a single guy for, you know, no. Well, yes, I'm single. I'm available, right? But I meant I'm the only boy in the family. You know, 3 sisters, and it's bad. You know, we go shopping and we take like 3 hours in one store. It's horrible. Anyways, you know, and one of the biggest supporters here that I like to thank is my sister. You know, I always try to be a role model for her, and she holds a very dear place in my heart. And you know, I'm gonna miss talking to her, and well, I'm still gonna talk to her as I like it. But as I go off to college, you know, I realize that I'm gonna lose some touch with a lot of people here. Hopefully not that much, but you know, I'm gonna miss each and every single one of you guys, and mostly, well, my family, and you know, when I say family, I don't just mean like my biological family. I mean you guys, because you know, I've always held this saying dear to my heart. You don't have to be blood to be family, and that's what this cross-country program has given me. It's given me a second family. You know, all of you guys here, the boys, y'all are my brothers, every single one of you, and you know, I've cherished every single moment with you guys, you know, and sometimes we tease each other and we get in fights, and You know, especially over there, little freshman Kowalski, you know, he's a little, you know, turd sometimes, but we deal with him. And it's been a great season overall, and I like to end off with, you know, a story. You know, my freshman year, during cross season, I made the varsity team, and you know, at the time it was just like running was just getting in shape for soccer, and you know, I didn't really take care of myself. I gotta be honest here, coach. That's why I got injured freshman year, and you know, when I got injured, I thought, you know, running's not for me, and that's why I went to go play soccer. But then I came back, and you know, throughout that whole track season, I would see these three guys, you know, post up pictures with like everyone else and meets and stuff, and I remembered that promise. I remembered that promise that I made to them, that I made to this family that we have here, this cross country program. You know, to give everything that I could give to make this program a successful program. And you know, like I said, that soccer season was a wake-up call. And sophomore year came, and I was like, all right, let's do this. I'm gonna focus, refocus. And sadly, I got injured again sophomore year, and I didn't do much my first 2 years of cross country. But you know, I came back, and you know, I was just, you know, when that second injury happened, my sophomore year, I broke down. Like, I was mad at everyone, at, you know, running, at God, at everything. And, but everything, you know, it turned out for the best. Everything happened for a reason. And, you know, I thank God for giving me those 2 years of, you know, not that much success my first 2 years of high school, because that third year, I set a goal and I reached it. You know, and coming back from an injury, it's not easy. You come back and you just think, you know, it's gonna happen again. And you're scared, and you know, you run scared every single time you run, even if it's an easy run, you're running scared. And you know, at that time, I got a lot closer to God, and with the help of Martin and, you know, these guys, I got a lot closer to God, and you know, I started to realize and to really reflect on my first 2 years of high school, and I realized that those 2 years of no success, you know, they left me with hunger. And that's one of the most important things in this sport. You have to always be hungry. You have to always keep in mind that goal that you have. And that's one of the big reasons why my junior year and my senior year I became, you know, an elite runner, I'd consider myself. And I mean, these guys were a big role in Coach G, you know, his training, and I'd just like to give a word of advice for the underclassmen, for the junior high. You know, when you run, like I said, don't run for yourself, because it's, you know, it's so easy to just say, you know what, I'm done. But when you have all those people in mind, all those faces, all those names in your mind, you know, you think to yourself, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep going for them. And that's one of the big things that has pushed me throughout this entire high school career and junior high too. And I'd like to thank again everyone here and Coach G, and you know, my second family. You know, like I said, y'all are family, you know, not in blood, but y'all hold the place in my heart. And you know, I've come to realize that the reason I've stayed in cross country was not to reach, yes, to reach my goals and stuff, but more importantly to mentor you guys and to help you out and to help you out with any questions you have, whether school related, running. Yeah, a lot of you come to me for help in school and stuff, and I'm glad to help. And sometimes Coach G has told us this, we seem a little intimidating because we're seniors but I mean, we're just like you. We were once in your shoes, trying to get in that varsity team. And just remember to, a lot of people say we have to make sacrifices to reach our goals. Well, I consider them, not sacrifices, but choices, You don't sacrifice something, you choose to do something so you can become better. And, I've joined this cross-country team to create you guys as leaders, to lead you guys and to help you guys, to aid you guys in anything you need. And I think that's the biggest motivation that you can have. You have to surround yourself with people who love the sport as much as you do, who are as hungry as you are, and bottom line is you become the people you're around with. And I've been blessed to be around you guys, and I'd like to thank everyone here. Y'all have been great these 6 years, and I hope to see you guys during the summer. I'll join you guys during practice once or twice, because I'm done with running. It's no college running, I don't think so. Sorry, Coach. Oh yeah, we still got track, and I'm really glad I shared this experience with every single one of you guys, and thanks, Coach G, for 6 years and for everything you've done for me. Become second father. Thank you.
Well, unlike Hector and Javier and Martin, I never thought I would be joining cross. I used to be a little so-called band geek. And I used to roast in the sun. I thought it was so fun, right? And then came my junior year, and I took anatomy with Coach G. And I still remember the day that Coach G told me, you should run cross. And I never considered it until my first 5K. And I did really good, and I was like, this is my call to be a runner. And I fell in love with it, and I don't regret joining cross. I wish I could take back these 4 years of high school and start with Hector and Martin and Victor and Javier, but I can't. But I can say that even though I wasn't in varsity, I always looked to them and to Christina and Belle. I kept myself motivated through them. It didn't matter whether I had a bad race, whether I didn't do so good, I always kept pushing for that goal. And, I can't thank you all enough for coming here today, but most importantly, my parents, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. Like, they've pushed me through so much. I know that they're not here, but they can say that they're proud of me, as well as God. Just like Martin, I put a lot of faith in God, and I think God put me in this path to be in cross, through the hot summers. And sometimes I felt like giving up. I still remember the first race that we went to, and I did really bad. I felt sick to my stomach, and I was like, this is not for me. I'm gonna give up. But then I was like, I shouldn't give up just because I'm feeling bad or just because it wasn't my best race. And I pushed forward knowing that something good would come out. And I can't thank Coach G enough for pushing me, because I think without him, without Coach Vielma, without Coach Rangel, I wouldn't have stayed. I would have just given up, and I would have left. And I really fell in love with this family. Nothing compared to what I've experienced through my band years, where you say, oh, band is a family. This is something else that I will hold true to my heart, every one of you. we may be heading off our different ways, but I hope I never lose touch with you guys. I can keep coming back. And just like Javier, one big motivation for me has been my sister. We started this together, and I know we're not ending it together. I'm ending it, but she's continuing. I know I've been a great role model for her, and we push each other through everything. We know we may say that we may not miss each other when I go to college, when I go to San Antonio, that she doesn't want to go to the same university. But if it's meant to happen, you know, I wish I never lose touch of that. I mean, I have one sister and I have one little brother who's so special to my heart, the cutest thing ever, you know, a pain in the butt, but, you know, I value these moments that I have, because if I could take it back, I would love to experience high school once again. Going to college it's another chapter in my life, and like one teacher told me, and this is my inspiration to keep going forward. I know she's here today, it's Ms. Herrera. She's always said that I'm a great student, and I know I am, and it's not just because I work hard, not because my parents pushed me to work hard, but I found that inspiration to push myself, to be somebody else, and to get that name just like they did running cross. I wouldn't be involved in so many clubs throughout my high school year. I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be able to do many things if it weren't through God. And every day that I wake up, I know sometimes I have problems and I don't like them to be in my life. I always know that God puts them there for a reason. I know He's put me through a lot of paths in my journey, but I know He's putting them for one reason, and I know He's got a greater path for me in the future. I never figured I would take His call and apply to St. Mary's and take the journey and say, you know what, Lord, I'll accept your journey and I'll go to that university if you want me to. And so I know it costs us a lot. My parents are freaking out. But like I told them, if God put me to go there, I have to take it. You know, there's nothing that's gonna stop me. And one thing that I like to tell you guys, never stop. You know, I mean, I may not have got into varsity, but I never stopped pushing myself. And I never really doubted myself in what I was doing. I knew with a little bit of faith in God, of course, things would happen. So don't give up just because life is tough. Life for me has been tough, but I didn't give up. And my most memorable time is going to district, and I can recall Coach G telling me to push and push. Felt like giving up. It was the hottest day. You know, I felt like giving up, and I couldn't go anymore. Little by little, I kept passing one guy and another one. I was like, okay, I'm doing good. I can keep going. You know, don't give up, don't die yet. Go to the finish line. And I remember hitting the last 200 meters, and I pushed like I had never pushed before. And I still remember that race, feeling that thrill go through my body, getting, for the first time in my life, finishing a race in 20 minutes. I had never done that. That was like impossible. And I can't thank Coach G enough for pushing me, Coach Velma, even though sometimes Coach Velma might be a pain in the butt. You know, I get why he pushes us, and I get why he does all these workouts so hard, because he wants us to not only be healthy, but continue forth in our journey as athletes. And I hope I can continue, maybe not my freshman year of college, but the next 3 years that I have in college, I hope I can run like Hector and Martin. I hope I can continue it throughout college. And I hope that I never lose sight of any of you guys, because this family has been greatly important. I fell in love with you guys since the beginning that I started. Although I didn't know many of you, you know, I fell in love just like I fell in love with God. I don't see that space in my heart leaving, even when I leave to college. So thank you for everything that you've done, from your, you know, from pushing me to giving me advice to helping out each other. I can't thank you enough. I wish it could continue, but it's the end, and it's been fun. It's been a great ride. So thank you.
Well, good evening, and well, first I would like to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. It means a lot, and well, I haven't had the privilege of being in cross country for as long as these guys have, but I joined my sophomore year, and I remember it was actually because of Hector, Martin, and Victor. They were always on my butt. Hey, join cross country. You should be in it. It's so much fun. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, you know, like, what's so fun about running miles and miles every single day? I mean, I didn't find that any fun at all. But well, one day I joined, right? And I still remember Martin and Hector actually promised me that they would take me out to eat. You know, they were like, you know, if you join, we'll take you out to eat and everything. I was like, okay, yeah, like, that's cool. And they still haven't, right? But it's okay. But if it wasn't,
Right here, we take you out to here.
if it wasn't for them, I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't have grown so close to them and to all these people that I consider my second family. And Coach G, he's been like a second father figure to me. I mean, he can be your teacher, your best friend, your counselor, everything to go to, and he always, you know, has the right words to say, and he's amazing. Like, he's one of the best people that I've met, and he's inspired me in so many ways, and I thank him for everything that he's done for me and for everybody here and for this program, and I only hope that it continues growing. And I'm blessed, you know, to be here today and to have met all of these people here that are my brothers and sisters, you know, the ones that I've never had. I've made so many beautiful memories with them, and I enjoyed every single moment with them, whether it was heartbreaking or, you know, a moment of joy. Like, every single moment that I spent with them made me the person that I am today. And I had the honor of being the leader of the girls' team, which is something that I never saw myself doing because I'm very timid and quiet. But, you know, they helped me, and Coach G helped me, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm never going to forget, you know, each and every one of them, because they all have made like a special place in my heart. And I'd like to thank each and every one of them for, you know, doing that. And one piece of advice that I have for everybody is just to continue striving and to continue having that fire inside of you, as hard as it may be sometimes, you know, waking up at 6:30 in the morning, not wanting to run. But one thing that I always keep in mind is I do it for those girls over there that I run with. And it's something that I always tell them before a race, you know, race for each other, do it for each other, for Coach G, for God. And just always keep that in mind. And always, always, always listen to Coach G. He's always right. Always. But, well, yeah. Thank you.
Hello. For some of you who don't know me, my name is Angela. this was my first year in cross country because I had Coach G for anatomy, and I remember he was talking to one of the greatest athletes, Karina Vélez. I know you guys know her, and they were talking about running, and I remember telling them, like, how can you guys run so much? Like, I've never been athletic, that's the thing. Like, I never done anything like this. So it was pretty crazy. I remember the first day during summer, I got there and the only person I knew was Ruby. And it was pretty intimidating because I was with all these people that are really good athletes, and they've been this in so long. And I remember calling my best friend, like, it was really early, and I got there and I told her, like, dude, I'm crying, like, this was the worst day of my life, like, nobody likes me, nobody talked to me. But then I guess I just went with it, and I remember I got surgery also in August, so I couldn't really do my first meets. So I only ran 3 meets, and I stayed. I stayed hungry, and I was like, I'm not gonna join track. Like, track is not for me. But you know what? I stayed hungry, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Just like I did with cross country, I'm gonna try it with track too. And I remember in summer that I was running with these, I don't remember who it was, but it was 2 girls, and they were already, like, they know what they're doing, and I'm really clumsy. And so we were running, and I remember I tripped and I fell on my knee. And I remember getting there, and I told Coach, look at my knee. And then he was like, oh, just put water on it. I'm like, okay. And then I remember he told me, battle scars, baby. And that's like ever since then, that's all I have, because I fell again. And it's true, because Coach, he wiped me, like I had dirt all over me and I didn't even notice. And it's the same place I always fall, in rocks, and I don't understand why. Yeah, I want to thank Coach Rangel too, who was there, and Coach G, of course, and everyone who was there for me. My family, my JV family. Even though, like, for me, I didn't really care if I was varsity or JV. I didn't care. I was like, I'm just gonna do whatever it takes to be the best for myself, because in this world you only have yourself. And for you underclassmen, I know you're the new generation, and you guys are gonna do good, because I have faith in you, and we all have faith in you. For us seniors, and Coach also will have faith in you guys. And always be nice. And always be humble, because you don't want to be mean or bring people down, because all they are is just insecure. And don't let those comments or things. You do your best and get back up, and just keep running and enjoy this, because it is my first and last year, and I honestly wish I could just had joined a long time ago, but hopefully in college I keep running. And yeah, well, thank you for everyone who attended.
Howdy. For you guys who don't know me, I'm Benjamin Rodriguez, the son of Benjamin Rodriguez III. I postponed this moment as long as I could. There's no turning back. I was not looking into cross country when I went into junior high. I was honestly the opposite of a runner. I started off as a lineman in junior high. I was a muscle-crazed fanatic. You could imagine me in football. Doesn't, you know. Okay, I'll continue. I stopped football because my mother, she had that motherly instinct and told me to get out of football because I was knocked in the head too many times and she feared for my safety. Thank you, Mom. After 8th grade year, I kind of went to a cocoon in my house. The summer special was Netflix, games, and no outside activity. But I came to a realization that I needed to get in shape for high school, cause they're senior girls. Come on, like I needed to impress somebody. So I started running a mile or two. I remember I saw Hector and his dad outside once, and I went to join them for a run. I only could finish a mile. It was like late at night. I was huffing and puffing. When I finished, I was like, "Hey, where did Hector go?" Oh, he went for another mile or two. And I felt really bad. I felt out of shape. I was like, I can't compete with this guy. He's gonna have like all the girls. He does. And then I just kept on running my own. And then one day in the summer, I woke up late. I was like, I think it was 12 or 1. It was extremely hot outside. My dad was talking to Hector's dad outside. And me being very curious, I went outside and see what they're up to. And that's when I saw these 4 guys. And they're like, I was wondering, like, hey, what are you guys gonna do? Or like, what are you guys doing? And then they're like, oh, we're gonna go for a run, a 3-mile run. I was like, you know what, I'll join you guys. I got bored running on my own, so I was like, hey, you know what, I'll just run with them. Just to stay in shape, you know, it's good. So that was my first run with them. We went through trails. That was the turning point in my life. Well, my high school career, my life is still continuing. But yeah, that's how I started. My dad told me that they had cross-country practice in the mornings at 6 and 7 in the morning. I was like, I'd rather just stay inside, have my nice breakfast, play some video games. But no, my dad kind of pushed me towards running with them so I could see what it's all about. My mom was pushing me to go to tennis, so I was like, you know what? I'll go work out, run, get fit for tennis, get fit for the ladies. But that was my mentality going into freshman year. After a month of training, we had our first meet in Edinburgh. I was gratefully chosen by Coach G to be able to run in that meet. That was my first out-of-town meet, only the top, I think 14 was it, or 20? Were able to go. I was extremely scared. It was a big meet. I ran JV. Hey, JV people are very important. So JV people, keep believing. Yeah. Well, yeah, I ran my first meet. It was an experience. I was collapsing. I was fainting. I was out of it. Some people were like, "Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong with you?" Like, I'm tired. I'm done. And that was my mentality. Like, I'm just gonna stay with this just to work out and then join tennis in the fall. Well, that didn't happen. When it came district time, my freshman year, that's my train of thought, sorry. Coach G said, do you want to run the freshman race? And I was like, but I've been running with JV people all the time. Like, I know, but like, just to get your confidence up, have fun with it. I was like, okay, you know what, whatever, I'll run it. It's cool. I was kind of bummed out, sorry. Like, I got my feelings hurt there. After that, he told me if I wanted to go to the regional meet. I believe I went with you guys. And from there, I just stuck with it. And since I ran track in junior high, I was like, you know what, I'll just run track too and join tennis the next year. How hard can tennis be? I never experienced tennis because I never joined it, apparently. Well, yeah, I stuck with running, I stuck with cross, stuck with track. my freshman year, I improved track-wise, but I thought nothing of it. I was just like, you know what? It's just what happens when you work hard. I probably won't be varsity ever, because from my background, I was like football player. When I was young, I was a football player. So yeah, my sophomore year comes around. I continue running. I got better and better. I got close to winning a few JV meets, and I was like really pumped about that. And then Coach G offered me the spot in varsity for a few meets, like was it 3 meets? And I was like, wow, I made it. Like I felt a real sense of accomplishment. So varsity spot, JV people take pride in it. It is an experience to run. It's something I push forward. I like encourage you guys to strive for, because it's something out of the world. Like JV races, I know they're important, but varsity races is a whole different story. You're gonna experience a whole different side of cross. Well, yeah, and then unfortunately I wasn't able to run district, and like Javi said, he had the syndrome of top big dog in track, and that's what happened to me my junior year, and I regret it. I became complacent. I didn't run that well. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to run track. But then senior year comes around, I was like, you know what? I want to run, try to get back into the groove of things. And for a while, I was running for myself. I was wanting to improve on my own thing, to prove to myself that I was still in it. But then after a few good races, I had a bad race. And from there, I felt really discouraged, really like down. It went to a point where I didn't want to run. And what got me through that was seeing these guys run and all that. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let them down. I want to run for them. I'm gonna push through everything for them. So I did that. Shit. Well, the season went forward. I got better. I saw these guys push me forward because they needed fifth mile to close. Okay. Well, anywho, long story short, I ran for these guys. They're the reason I kept continue running. I was honestly really scared at the time because I didn't believe I was gonna be able to run varsity for district, because I was honestly really okay. I was honestly fearful of the freshman people because they were like kicking butt, and I was scared they're gonna take my spot. So I strived for that, to be the top 5 guys, to be the 5th man. Ryan, congratulations to be member of district. But yeah, like anything you do, well, I'm trying to conclude this because I already dragged it on way too long about running and my whole career. Long story short, don't stop believing. You guys, JV, you guys are very important. I've held you guys really dear. If most of the JV guys know, I include them in most of the things. I hang out with them, I joke around with them. I joke around with these guys too, but you know, I've always was a JV guy. I always had JV heart, a JV mentality. So JV people, you guys are the bomb. Okay. Damn, I forgot the other points. A memorable moment, or some people know me as the guy who always wore black and jeans to like every meet. Well, to like every meet since freshman year. They were like, Coach G got mad at me. This is a funny story or something like that. he always got mad at me for wearing jeans. These guys always got mad at me for wearing jeans. Even when I was in varsity, I still took jeans, still took black shirts, V-necks specifically. And that went by for a while. This year, I kinda laid away from it because these guys were like, if you're not gonna wear black, you can't be varsity. If you're gonna wear black, you can't be varsity. I was like, okay, like the major meets, when we went out of town, I was like, you know what, I'll wear the burnt orange shirt, the shorts, look athletic. But sometimes I try to get with it and took some jeans. I remember Halloween, I took my costume. But yeah, that was one of the good moments in cross where I always wanted to be like, you know what, I'm gonna wear black. To a point where, well, I did that to a point where I wanted to prove to them like I'm gonna wear this because it's me, and you can't change me. Well, yeah. What was the ones?
When you wear black, you never go back.
What, Rob, when you wear black, you never go back. That's funny.
What was that?
Coaches, thank you. You've been a good inspiration. Coach G pushed me through a lot of things, a lot of hard times, a lot of good, a lot of bad. You helped me keep faith in myself in summers when I didn't want to go. Like, you know, just keep on coming my freshman year. And that's what just kept me with it. You guys, JV guys, you know, you're my crew, you're my gang, you're my third family, second. Smith, you're part of my second. Smitty brothers, Ramses, John, all the other guys. Okay, let's just throw it all in one big family, one big second family. I feel bad because I was in your position. Well, yeah, you guys just keep believing, keep pushing. You never know what you might end up as. You might be varsity, you might stay JV the whole time, but cross teaches you a lot of more responsibilities, discipline, and many other like life lessons you might use in the future, as in college, where you guys have to wake up early, study, and so forth. Another thing I want to guys tell you is keep in mind a role model. A role model will always help you push through anything, keep you centered in a goal. A role model can not replace a goal, but it's really close to a goal. My goal when I was small, when I was a freshman, was Carlos Elizondo because he ran crazy. He ran like a horse. And then as the years went by, the role models changed, the point of view changes, and you just adapt, you continue, and there you go.